Alright, let's solve some absolute value equations here. This is quiz 3. Let's see. To do this, I'm going to have to get rid of this negative 5. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That's going to give me the absolute value of 6 plus p is equal to 1. So that means that either 6 plus p equals 1 or 6 plus p equals negative 1. Which means if I subtract 6 from both sides, I get p equals negative 5, or subtract 6 from each side, and I get p equals negative 7. Next door here, let's see, I'm going to have to get rid of this negative 2 by adding 2 to both sides, which gives me the absolute value of 3 minus 3p equals 21, which means that 3 minus 3p equals 21, or 3 minus 3p equals negative 21. I'll subtract 3 from each side of the equation, and I get negative 3p equals 18. I divide by negative 3 on both sides, and I get p equals negative 6. Or, on the other side, I subtract 3 from each side, and I get negative 3p equals negative 24. I divide by negative 3 on each side, and I get p equals 8. Next, I need to get rid of this 5 over here, so I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. That's going to give me the absolute value of 2n minus 9 equals 9, which means that 2n minus 9 equals 9, or 2n minus 9 equals negative 9. I'm going to add 9 to both sides of the equation to get 2n equals 18. Or, I got to divide by 2 to get n equals 9. Or, on the other hand, I add 9 to both sides to get 2n equals 0, divide by 2 on both sides, n equals 0. Next door here, I got to get rid of this negative 7. I will add 7 to both sides. That gives me absolute value of 2m plus 6 equals 6, which means that 2m plus 6 equals 6, or 2m plus 6 equals negative 6. I'll subtract 6 from each side. 2m equals 0. Divide by 2 on each side, and m equals 0. Or, I take 6 away from each side, and I get 2m equals negative 12. I divide by 2 on both sides, and m equals negative 6. So, in either case, first, before we're going to split the absolute value equation into two separate equations, because if, for example, 2m plus 6, if the absolute value of that is equal to 6, then this must work out to either positive 6 or negative 6, because both positive and negative 6 have an absolute value of 6. There's 6 units from 0 on the number line. So 2m plus 6 has got to equal or be the same as either 6 or negative 6. But before we can split it like that, we have to get rid of anything else that's along with it. So if it's a number that's been added or perhaps subtracted, then we will add or subtract to cancel it out. If, on the other hand, there's nothing like this on this particular one, but if it's something that's been, say, multiplied, so if we had multiplied the absolute value expression by something first, then we would have to divide in order to get rid of that. Okay. There you go.